were going to give you the best chance long term to be successful wherever you ended up in a field that you were interested in. So I guess you going to Michigan State, and for those that don't know, Samir and I, we actually met in law school, and I always thought your situation was interesting, and always looked up to you in many ways. And one of the ways was your ability to just network effectively in law school. And so can you talk a little bit about that as far as, okay, how was law school for you? Did you find it easy? Did you find it difficult? And then the importance of networking, because a lot of the people that I kind of surround myself with to this day, I met in maybe engineering or law school. So how was that? No, was that something that you had on your mind going in terms of, hey, man, I need to be able to network, or is it just kind of came to be? And again, I think also if you can talk about LinkedIn, because I think LinkedIn, man, I'm not. Maybe it was around before we went to law school. It certainly seemed like it was Facebook, LinkedIn. It was all around that same time, and I remember in law school we had to set up LinkedIn accounts and stuff like that. I'm like, I mean, what is this stuff? So as I was kind of going through law school, I really didn't make it a point of kind of being on LinkedIn and networking, using it as a networking tool to network effectively. But I thought, man, hey, if it was a master class on using LinkedIn, I thought that you should be the teacher of it, because the way you were able to use that tool, LinkedIn, to try to uh, or to put yourself in a position that you're in today and network and meet some great people and do some amazing things. I thought that you played that perfectly. So can you kind of, I know I threw a lot at you, but can you talk about those different things as far as networking and LinkedIn and just kind of going through law school?
So first with law school, yeah, when you go to law school, before your first day, you have ideas that it's going to be hard, it's going to be a lot of work, which it certainly is. But it's not hard. In my opinion, I didn't think law school was actually that hard.
Same here. Same. And maybe that for me it was because of engineering, but I thought law school was, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work,
Right.
that's for sure, because you don't want to be one of those students who goes to class, gets called on, and then you're not prepared.
Yeah.
There's a myriad of reasons why. One, because you don't look good to your classmates. Two, you don't want to get a bad grade. Three, you want to make a good impression on your professors, because and one of the first lessons that they give you in law school is this is where your networking begins. It begins in law school with your peers, because as you grow older, you may get business for them, or they may come to you for some kind of legal expertise, and your law professors are those that are writing reference letters for you. Sometimes, I mean, a lot of times your law professors go to or went to really, really good law schools, so their colleagues are still working in private practice as a general counsel or in a law firm. So you never know when you can get a referral from your law professors. And I know you and I did a lot of work, trying to forge relationships with our law professors. But law school in and of itself, at least for me, wasn't very difficult. The subject matter wasn't very difficult. It was really, really dry. So trying to maintain your motivation, your enthusiasm, and your interest in the material is difficult. But it's just a routine of going to class, going home, reading 50 pages, making notes of the cases that you read, and you're just doing that over and over and over again for 3 years. So law school in and of itself wasn't very difficult. And just to add to that, I mean, the bar exam certainly wasn't very difficult as well. So for those, I'll leave it at that. But the law school and the bar exam weren't very difficult. As far as networking is concerned, I've always been really, I mean, at least I like to think of myself as somebody who's easy to talk to.
Right.
I always like meeting new people. I like talking about things that I'm passionate about. And so using LinkedIn and Twitter was and finding like-minded individuals on those platforms and talking about the issues that are really important and passionate between the both of us. It makes it easy. It's certainly one of the things that I would recommend is don't go on LinkedIn or Twitter and try to create an image of yourself that's not actually you.
All right. Be authentic.
use those tools to express yourself and your passion and your interest, because there's certainly people that are on LinkedIn and Twitter that are doing that as well. They're trying to find like-minded individuals. They're not trying to create themselves out to be something that they're not. Furthermore, if you create yourself out to be something that you're not, then you're going to go down that rabbit hole, and 5 years later you're going to find yourself doing work that you don't really want to do. For example, I mean, there are attorneys and law students that we know of, that are classmates that wanted to do like environmental law, or wanted to do, animal rights law, or wanted to work with, underprivileged people in society. And then they create this LinkedIn profile because they want to get a good clerkship with a good judge, or they want to get a good summer internship with a certain law firm. And then they create this persona of being like a corporate attorney, and tweeting or making posts about things in the law that they're really not passionate about. But then they get this summer internship, and then they're stuck, with this corporate partner, and they're going to be working with that partner for the summer. And then you just can't shake that after the fact, because on your resume you're going to say that you did corporate work when in your 1L year, or you clerked with this judge who does like predominant bankruptcy law, or whatever, what have you. And so then you're stuck doing that. So those ambitions of being an environmental lawyer is literally thrown out the window, because now you're no longer an environmental lawyer. You're like an administrative lawyer. You're a corporate lawyer. So if you're going to use social media, articulate who you are. Don't try to fake it. And I know that like in the law,